Hey guys, it's Siobhan with To Kitty and Beyond. Welcome to my channel. Today is going to be a little bit different than normal. Usually I pull cards, do readings, that kind of thing, but this is an energy update of what I experienced on February 28th and then on March 1st as well. So that's yesterday in my time. Whenever you're watching this, let me know what you experienced, if you experienced anything, and so on and so forth. So let's just get into it. On February 28th, I experienced a disconnection from the earth grid or from the time grid. I'm not quite sure which, but it was very overpowering. I was at my 3D job, which I am soon going to be quitting because it's extremely draining. And then I experienced what I can account for as like, or how I can describe it as like being on a tilt-a-whirl, but having no base. So it started as a vibration in my inner ear, in my left ear. And I've had vertigo before. I know what that feels like. This was not vertigo. It was a vibration in my left ear. And then I heard earth changes. And I then felt as though I was being sort of lifted up out of my body. I had nothing to ground to. And so I started kind of spinning around. So obviously I had to go sit down in the back. And everyone was asking me what was wrong. And obviously I can't tell them because they wouldn't understand. Hopefully they will soon. But as of right then, I had to just, say I was sick. And then, I started to feel nauseous because I had no grounding. I was floating around. I was closing my eyes and I was feeling my higher self come into me. But again, there was nothing to ground all that higher energy. So it was just this massive wave of higher energy that was kind of sweeping me about. So I did feel nauseous. I did throw up. And then I ended up coming home and lying down and recuperating, and then I felt better. But the next day, I was feeling totally fine again. I woke up in the morning with lots of energy, feeling great, went and ran some errands, and was walking around a mall when two small children, two little girls, ran in front of me. And in that moment, I just got hit with like this grounding wave. It went through me and down into my feet and into the ground. And it felt like my feet were made of lead. And then, it was almost like I walked into a wall. Like I walked into a wall and then my feet were grounded to the ground and everything just like reset. And it was super overwhelming for a minute again. I didn't feel nauseous this time because nothing was spinning. It was just this grounding energy. So I walked over and had to stand, against a wall for a period of time to regroup. And while I was feeling into what was going on in my body, they were telling me, it is done, we did it, we're here. It is done, we did it, we're here. And I was feeling this joy in my heart. Oh, and I forgot to mention that my heart chakra on the 28th, when I was experiencing the disconnect from the grid, or whatever it was, the reset, my heart felt, it was like a purge. I associate it with when I'm purging or purging for other people. It goes through my heart chakra and it feels like slightly like grief, and it did make me cry, which does usually happen when I purge. It felt just like that. And then this time, the second time, the grounding incident was more like my heart felt full of joy and gratefulness that this was taking place, that we grounded, that we did it, that we realigned, and that the higher energies were now being anchored into earth. So that being said, I checked on the online what was going on and found out that there was a massive solar flare that was ejected from the sun, which then came into our ionosphere and affects the Schumann resonance, which is electricity that goes around in the ionosphere. So the Schumann resonance of the Earth is usually at a base level of 7.83 hertz, and the highest that it shot up to in the past was 35, which is like a huge leap. I think that was in 2017, which not coincidentally is the year that I actually woke up. And yesterday, I believe, or sorry, not yesterday, but the day before, on February 28th, when I experienced that like complete disconnect, it was 85 hertz, which is completely off the charts. I don't think it's ever been recorded that high. And I felt it. That was what was happening. The solar energy from that flare is infused with photons and galactic particles from the central galactic sun, which has increased its vibration. So what I'm being told is that this energy coming in is operating at such a high frequency that, yes, it is going to purge, because it's a higher consciousness. So anything lower has to come up. So you may have been experiencing a lot of emotional purging, a lot of turmoil in your day-to-day operations. You may have been feeling lethargic and then super energetic and then back to lethargic again. You may have been experiencing tingles in the top of your head or in your body. You may have been feeling pressure on your chest. You may have been noticing strange lights in the sky or purple clouds or just things that are slightly out of the ordinary, but nothing so much that it would have people, staring at it. It's just slight differences. So these things are the shift. Yesterday, when I was driving back from the mall that I was at where I experienced the grounding, I saw in the sky, well, first of all, the sky turned purple, and it was not quite, it wasn't sunset yet. Usually it'll do that around sunset, where the sky where I live will turn sort of like a rainbow gradient ombre, and it's absolutely gorgeous. But it was more so just concentrated in one area, and it wasn't close to the sun, which I felt was very out of the ordinary, and it was like this beautiful purple color. And then they were sort of showing me, they were like, look over here. And I looked over there, and in the sky, there was this wisp of cloud sort of outlining something, and it was massive. It was huge, and it was over top of the mountains, and it wasn't part of the cloud structure. It wasn't, it was more like the clouds were buffeting against it. And in my mind, I was like, that's a ship. That's a ship. They're here. Because they told me they were here, and now they're showing me that they're here. Also on the ride home, I was receiving downloads. Thankfully, I wasn't driving. I was receiving downloads the entire time of information as to what had just taken place. And what I received was that it was a change in the time. So we're no longer going to be operating on the 24-hour clock, 365-day calendar year. It's shifting into a present moment. It's just so funny how all of this, I wish that I could explain to you the synchronicities as to how they showed me this in the physical realm, but then they also told me this. And that's how I know that it's accurate, because I was feeling it, I was hearing it, and I was seeing it. So it was all of, and I was feeling it. So it was all of the senses. And they showed me the word vetiver a few days ago, which I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what vetiver was. I just kept repeating in my head, vetiver, vetiver, vetiver. And so I looked it up. I Googled it, of course, and discovered that it is an extract from a type of sweet grass in India that's very good for de-stressing and grounding. Now, of course, they were telling me to go get some vetiver so that it would help counteract the effects of the ungrounding and the regrounding that was about to take place. But did I listen? No. And so how did they prove to me that would have helped me? After I had regrounded, I was walking around the mall, and I was drawn to go into this store called Sage Wellness, and the clerk came up to me and said, "Hey, have you smelled our new scent? It's called Present Moment." And in that moment, I was so in the present moment. It was like I was high. And, I don't smoke weed anymore, not for years and years and years. But the only way that I can describe it was like after you take, a big toke, and then you just kind of zone in so hard on something that you're extremely focused and you're just in that moment. There's no past, there's no future. It's just now. That was what it felt like. And so when she said present moment, and I asked her, do you have any, vetiver essential oil? And she said, that's funny you ask. This is the only one that has vetiver in it. So of course I took a little bit of it and I put it on the palms of my hands. If I was at home, I would have put it on the soles of my feet as well, because that's what they were telling me to do with it, intuitively in the days, leading up to this event. But I put it on my hands and it did actually help. It did reground me. So that was excellent. Thank you for that guidance. And then on the way home, a song came on and one of the lyrics was premonition, and the song's chorus was about 24/7, 365. You may have heard it. It's a new song. I don't know who it's by or what it's called, but that was the lyrics in the song. And then I was seeing a truck pulled in front of me and it said DNA on the side of it. So I'm going, okay, we're having our DNA rewritten. We're having the codes rewritten so that we're no longer existing in this old programming. So basically we're being reprogrammed to live outside of this constructed matrix of time that has been keeping us limited. And now we're going to be existing in only the present moment, which is how all higher beings exist and operate. They operate only from the present moment, and therefore they can travel through time and space because every moment is the present moment. And this is what, and I'm getting tingles all over my body as I'm saying this, and I'm seeing them moving around me right now. So confirmation, yes, thank you. Hold on, I just gotta breathe for a second. The energies are extremely intense. For those who are sensitive to this, don't have any fear. Just trust the flow of energy, trust what's happening. If stuff comes up, release it, transmute it, call in for help. They're all around you right now. So ask for assistance if you need it. They will help. They will clear the energy. They will help ground you. They will help enlighten you. They will help bring you joy, whatever you need. Archangel Sandalphon came through to me yesterday and was assisting me in going with the flow of what was taking place. And it's funny because I don't normally work with him. I'm usually, my go-to is Archangel Michael, of course, for protection and cutting cords and things like that. But Sandalphon wanted to come through, and he was saying that this is a gift from God. This is an energetic gift from God to us, and we are God. So we're giving this gift to ourselves to wake up, to have the planet ascend, to be free from this slavery that the planet has been within for thousands and thousands of years. So this is our liberation. This is the beginning of the new earth. This is, in my opinion, I want to say that this is the event. And I didn't think that it would feel like this, but this is, and it is little waves. The way that our human mind wants to think about it is everything happening at once, and that's the event, air quotes. But this is the true beginning of the event, and I'm seeing things very quickly unfolding from here, and it has been already unfolding for the past 2 years. So, I think that's all I have to say. I just wanted to get that out there for you guys and share this information of what I went through. And there's all of the changes that are going on in the physical body and around us. We may see turmoil or a lot of change in the political structure, in the government, that kind of thing. But that's already been starting to happen. That's already been the case. So I'm not really surprised if it's going to be, even more so now. I think people will, they've been purging for a while now. I think this is going to be the beginning of people feeling a lot more loving and compassionate and empathetic and sensitive, which is a good thing. So if you're sensitive, it's not a curse, it's a blessing. And I am telling you that as well as myself, because when I go through these things, it is hard. And I sometimes get frustrated that I'm not just like everybody else, but it is a blessing. And I have to realize that as well, that I chose this for a reason. And I am going through these things so that I can share them with you, so that we can know what's happening and how to go about it. And we are being guided and we are being assisted, and they are here. So prepare for disclosure. Have no fear. They've been here for a long time. They're just making themselves more readily, they're making us more aware of it now that they've been here, and it's time. It's time that we join our galactic family. It's time that we join as a planet, the Federation of Love and Light. Okay, guys. So let me know if you're experiencing or if you experienced anything like that or anything different. I want to know, because everybody experiences it in their own way. We all filter it through our own perception, through our own vessel. It's going to be different, but it's all the same energy. And if you didn't feel anything, that doesn't mean that it didn't happen to you. Some people are just not able to go through that. Like your system wouldn't take it, basically, or it's a defense mechanism where your conscious mind will prevent you from feeling it, or you could have been sleeping at the time, which is another defense mechanism to make sure that you're able to integrate it properly. Okay, so everybody's equal in this. I'm not better than anybody else. You're not better than anybody else. We're all equal in this, and we're in this together. We're family. Let's rise. It's time. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll talk to you next time. Okay, bye.